Did you hear what the Netflix CEO said about the movie theater system? I am curious as to what your opinion on that.
No, I haven't.
Okay. Excuse me. All right. Here we go. Netflix CEO says movie theater system is an outdated concept. Believe streamer is saving Hollywood.
Wow, that's quite a statement.
Oh, yeah, that is quite a statement. Ever the company's biggest cheerleader, Netflix CEO Ted Sarandos believes that not only is the overall concept of the movie theater experience completely outdated, but that is the streaming giant's disruption of traditional release norms is actually saving the Hollywood industry. Sarandos, who served as Netflix chief content officer for slightly over 2 decades before being promoted to his current role in 2020, offered his bold self progress report while speaking to with Time magazine editor in chief Sam Jacobs during a recent Time 100 gala and summit. Have you destroyed Hollywood? Jacob asked to open their time together per recaps of the discussion provided by the Hollywood Reporter. No, we're saving Hollywood. Offering his thoughts on just why Netflix currently thriving while the traditional studio system is struggling to survive. Netflix is a very consumer focused company. We really do care that we deliver the programs to you in a way that you want to watch it. We really do care that we deliver the program to in a way you can want. Okay. And it's a program that you love and desire, so we don't let a lot of outside forces get in the way of that. This end, he then pointed to the ongoing decline of global box office pools and asked, "What is it? What does that say? What is the consumer trying to tell us that they like to watch movies at home? Thank you." Studios and the theaters are duking it out over trying to preserve this 45-day window that is completely out of step with the consumer experience, just loving a movie. So he says that because it benefits him. So,
Yeah,
uh,
breaking news: his
yeah.
idea, his streaming service is better than going to the movie theater.
Yeah, we're in a period of transition. Folks grew up thinking I want to make movies on a gigantic screen and have strangers watch them, and to have them play in the theater for 2 months and people cry and sold out shows is an outdated concept. Pressed by Jacobs as to whether he thought making movies for movie theaters for the communal experience was an outdated idea. I think it is for most people, not for everybody. If you're fortunate uh, to live enough in Manhattan, you can walk to a multiplex and see a movie. That's fantastic. Most of the country cannot. What are you talking about, dude? Please get out of New York's ass. Closing out on his thoughts, particular part of the discussion. He acts like nobody in the middle of the country goes to see movies.
I know.
Bro, it's like, what are you talking about? Da, 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 da. That while ongoing implosion of theater models does not bother him, would he rather? But what would bother me is if people stop making great movies. If we want people to watch them in a way that you want them to watch them, then people won't be able to make movies anymore because there won't be a business for it. All right, that was just silly. The reason people aren't going to the theaters is because all the movies are crap. They're
That,
preachy now.
and I think the tickets are so expensive nowadays.
And we went to, when we went to go see Minecraft. I think it costs over $100.
That's what I'm
It
saying for like 4 people, right?
was 3 adults, 2 kids. Yeah, bro.
That
It is.
that's kind of insane to like. So I get where he's coming from, that it could be like outdated,
Mm-hmm.
whereas if you watch movies at home, you have a more controlled experience. You're with the people that you want to be with. But at the same time, you go to the movie theaters for the experience, for the giant screen, to be with
Mm-hmm.
other people, to remember that moment. But yeah, the price of it is insane.
Yeah. Well, and see, this is the thing that kills me is people forget that we are a communal people. It's like part of our issues right now is that because of cell phones and social media, we have this false sense of community that doesn't really exist because part of it is seeing people's facial expressions when you talk to them and having shared background for conversations when you talk to people. It's like you don't get that on social media, and we're not better for that. So going to a theater with a bunch of people and laughing at something actually makes it's better overall for the human experience. So sitting in your house is not that. He's saying what he's saying, like I said before, is because it benefits him.
Yeah.
They make
Breaking news: his own business model is better than what's out there.
right. So it's like they they, uh, they make a lot of TV shows and movies. How many of them do people talk about? Huh? Not a lot. Not a lot of them. Every now and then you get one people talk about, but or a TV show that somebody talk about. For the most part, they don't talk about nothing. Netflix is just it's like Spotify. They don't create anything. It's just they buy stuff, they pay somebody else to make a thing, and then people talk about whatever that thing is for about 5 minutes, and it's not
And on to the
right.
next thing.
Right, and then they go to the next thing, and it's like everything is cotton candy.
So
You know?
like disposable.
Yeah, it's all
Yeah.
disposable. It's like it's not just one thing. It's the fact that the movies suck. It's the fact that you let a bunch of theater kids get in control of Hollywood because Hollywood used to be controlled by business dudes. And whenever someone would come in with the goofy idea about stuff, they would look at them like they was crazy. Like, ain't nobody gonna want to do that. But no, we're not doing that. But somehow those people got pushed out, and now it's just run by the inmates are running the asylum kind of thing.
Like that quote.
Right. So basically that's what happening. So yeah, you're benefiting from it, but in terms of overall quality of stuff, no, nobody's benefiting from this. It's crappy product. They put out crappy products too. Go on Netflix and how much of the new stuff did you kind of watch? You
Exactly.
just right. So it's like they're putting out crap too.
Yeah.
So it's like that was he all up his own ass. And the whole well, nobody can walk to a multiplex. Bro, people a lot of people who live in small towns go to the movies too. So it's like it's
I
like
still remember I was a senior, senior, junior in high school.
mhm,
And then like my fondest memories of Harry Potter was the last movie.
mhm,
So we're all like graduating, and we watched the midnight release of
mhm,
the last Harry Potter movie. Oh my god, that's like a core memory for my friends and I. And we're
yeah,
not even like the biggest Harry Potter fans. We like the movies and stuff, but we just remember going to the movie theater together. We were there with like all the other high schoolers were there watching it too. And then,
mhm,
oh my gosh, like yeah, I still remember that. There were people who dressed up. People
mhm.
were clapping and laughing throughout the movie, and then people got emotional since that was the last movie.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, you don't have that experience like at home.
no.
Yeah.
So you can dress up. I guess you can dress up at your house. It'd be a little weird, but
Oh, that's true. I guess you could dress up at home.
but the thing is though, like when the prequels came out, that first one it was a huge deal, dude. It's like people lining up all over the place. Everybody dressed up like Obi-Wan Kenobi, Darth Vader, and Princess Leia and
Right.
all this other stuff. It
Yeah,
was like a whole thing, and that is what's missing from this particular generation because they don't have experiences like that.
that's true. Yeah.
Like sometimes you you should wait for stuff. Sometimes it like everything should be so convenient because then you appreciate it more. And you don't appreciate it if you just have unlimited access to all the stuff. So
Everything.
then right. So basically you watch the first 5 minutes. If it doesn't hit all your whatever thing that you're looking for, you just move on to the next thing. That's not good. None of that is good. So it's, I don't know. They got to do
Instant
something more.
gratification culture.
Pretty much, yeah. And they don't know how to, like, they're not gonna learn how to appreciate anything. Then they're not gonna learn. It's a lot of stuff that is just being lost. And so they write a lot of stuff about, well, what's wrong with this particular generation. Only because they don't have none of that stuff. None of it. They don't have going outside and having to figure out how to entertain yourself when you're outside. Because your parents are not gonna let you back in the house. All right. So you got to figure out how to, one, you have a sense of independence because you're kind of on your own outside. Your parents aren't really telling you what to do, and there's nobody structuring your play. So you come up with something. And we used to come up with all kind of stuff. It's like play with your GI Joes. Yeah, this dude I knew who lived in the front of the apartment complex I was living in. He was by the front part, and it had a lot of lilies in the front, right?
Mhm.
So to a GI Joe, that's a jungle,
Right. Yeah.
right? So now you get your GI Joes, you go out in the front. Now I'm fighting Cobra in the jungle, right? So it's like that's what they're missing, and so yeah, he wants everyone to stay home. That will he doesn't really care because he's probably older. He's been what in Netflix for 20 years. How much longer he gonna be in Netflix? Another 10 years? So when everything falls off the deep end, he ain't gonna give a shit. To be perfectly honest, he's not gonna care. So he cares about what's happening right now, regardless to how eventually that would affect everything. Because remember how people like, a couple years ago, everyone talking about all the Korean stuff? Are
Mhm.
they talking about that now?
No. No.
Not really, no. Because it holds people's attention for so long, and they don't know how to maintain that so that it becomes a thing. Like you can do all these. You go back and look at these TV shows. It was on for a decade, 7 years. Same characters, like different situations for the same character. But like MASH and the Lucille Ball show, Star Trek, all these shows stayed on for 5, 6, 7, 8 years. All right. And kids on the show. Kids grew up on the show. You don't have anything like that anymore.
Yeah, they don't have anything to like resonate with or
Yeah. And that sucks, dude.
yeah, I remember when I was a kid also, like when
Mhm.
Star Wars episode 2 and episode 3 came out, and then I remember when I was a kid, and then I was excited to go to the movie theater and watch it. Same thing with the Pokemon movie.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like those experiences and going to the movies. It's like, oh, it's really different than it is now.
All right. One of the things that I say to you a lot is people like to pretend that we as humans have changed. We have not. Going to the movies is like how it used to be going to the theater, and that was like how we used to sit around a campfire listening to tales. We used to sit around like the fire, go back far enough, sit around a fire, listen to the elders of the village tell history and all this other stuff. All that is tied into the same thing. Communities sitting around listening to a story. That doesn't work in your house.
Yeah.
And it's like we have not evolved that far as being how our human nature is. So I don't know what this future is going to bring. Hopefully we'll have a some kind of resurgence that will kind of swing everything back to something in some semblance of being how it used to be. And I know I'm old, so I sound like an old guy when I say stuff like that.